True. All right, here we go. 5.2, modeling with systems is using substitution. Okay, we've been using substitution for the past couple of days, and I get the sense, last period they were getting pretty good at it. I'm getting the sense that y'all are too, but like I said, I wasn't here on Thursday. But we'll see what's going on. There are really three types of equations that you get out of the word problems. You have a total, and I'm going to call them the total number. Okay? So let's say I have I have 14 coins. All right, that's telling you how many coins you have. Okay? And so if we take the number of quarters plus the number of nickels, it would equal a total of 14 because I have 14 total. Okay? All right, now in the problem I would tell you I only have quarters and nickels and that sort of thing, but those are the easiest ones to grab. All right, because it'll say I have a total of 14 dolls. I have, between Ken dolls and Barbie dolls, or I have, 18 cars between cars and trucks. I mean, I don't know if it has 18 cars. Just first thing that comes to mind. All right, so that's the easiest one to go with. The grocery list, okay? Now, I call this a grocery list because you mostly do this at the store. This is the type of thing when, let's say, milk is $2, so that's $2 for a gallon of milk. Mink, M-I-L-K. And let's say eggs are $3. So $3 for a gallon of eggs. Okay? So the equation for that sucker would be 2 times the number of milks that you bought plus 3 times the number of eggs that you bought. Or 3E, sorry. 3 times the number of eggs you bought would equal whatever the total price is. Let's say you paid $15, $10, $20, whatever it was, that would equal your total price. So it's another type of total, but it's a monetary total. It's a money total. Cool? And this would be the same idea if you went to Walgreens and bought 1 toothbrush, a tube of toothpaste, 2 bottles of Coke, and 3 bags of chips. I mean, 1 times that one, 1 times that one, 2 times the Coke, 3 times the chips, because you bought that many of them. All right? Or the price of each one would equal the total price. Okay? Last but not least, you have the comparison. And this one's the trickiest one. This one is not a total. It's something more along the lines of, let's say, there are 3 more eggs than milk. There are 3 more eggs than milk. So hopefully you can read that and realize, we're comparing the eggs to the milk because we're saying which one's bigger or less or however we're dealing with that. Okay? So the way we do a comparison in math is E equals M. Your eggs equals your milk. But remember, one of them is 3 more. So question, how do you do 3 more in a math question? Is that 3 plus, 3 minus, 3 times, 3 divide, 3 what? 3 plus. So to make them equal, are we going to add 3 to the eggs, or are we going to add 3 to the milk in order to make them equal? I'll slide it up. You do what? Let me ask you this. Which one do you have more of? Do you have more eggs, or do you have more milk? Eggs. So to make them equal, which one do I have to add something to? The eggs or the milk? The milk to make them equal. So it may read 3 more eggs, that's 3 plus E, but in reality, you need to add it to the milk. Okay? So sometimes you've got to think about this one a little bit. Make sure you're doing it right. Now, if they say something like this, eggs are or is 3 more than milk. That's the same thing in English. All right, if they use the word are and is between them, that just reads right off. You've got eggs equals 3 more than milk. You following on that? So sometimes you can read them right off, sometimes you can't. All right, but those are the hardest ones to grab. So you got to think through of it. What do I got to do to make them equal? Okay? And we'll get to those in a little bit. But But those are the three types we're going to come across, and those are the three most common types. All right. So here we go. Example 1. You sell bracelets for $2 each, and necklaces for $3 each at a local flea market, and you collect $95, selling a total of 25 jewelry items. How many of each type of jewelry did you sell? Okay, so first things first, what kind of jewelry did you sell? And what else? Bracelets. Okay, so I'm zooming right here. Necklaces. What letter do you want to use for necklaces? Sounds like an excellent choice. Bracelets. What do you want to use for bracelets? Sounds excellent. Now, if you really want to, you can use X and Y, but you have to find a way to keep them straight. All right, you can't swap through them halfway through the question. All right, so we got necklaces and bracelets. So let me zoom back up to the whole question. All right, so they gave us a total. There was a total of 37 jewelry items. Is that telling me just how many there are, or is that telling me how much the price is? The total number, however many they are. So that's the first equation. That's just a total. So I can literally write N plus B equals 37. Cool. That's just a grand total of how many you've got. All right, the other one is the $95. And they told us the first one was $2. The bracelets were $2, and the necklaces were $3. That's actually a grocery list. Okay? Because it's $2 for every necklace. That's not an M, that's an M. Oh, I flipped it right. $2 for bracelets, I'm sorry. Thank you. So how would we show $3 for necklaces? Good. And how much would that equal in total? $95. Are there any questions as to how we built those two? Anything you want to talk about? All right, let's solve it. What do you got to do to solve it? Solve for one of your variables. Which one you want? I put a B there instead. Y'all said N because it's 3 times the necklaces. Thank you. All right, so which variable do you want? Do you want the first N, the first B, the second B, or the second N? Which one of these 4 variables do you want to solve for? First B? All right, so to get that one alone, what do we have to subtract, the N or the B? The N. Good. So you've got B equals 37 minus N. All right, so it's alone, so let's plug it. Step 2, plug it into the next equation. So for that one, we're going to write what? How are you going to write it out?
2 times parentheses B. No, it's going to be the base of minus
Good.
plus 3 and
Equals 95. Cool. We just took this second equation, just like we did last week, and we plugged that in for B. All right. Here we go. Let's start multiplying. What's 2 times 37? I'm going to zoom in now. 74. Yep, 74. So 74, what's 2 times negative 1? Okay. Bring everything else down. Okay. What are you going to do from here?
Combine the 2 and the negative 2 and the positive 3.
Okay, so if I combine those, how many n's do you have? 1. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. Okay, what's the other thing you got to do to get n alone?
Subtract the 74.
Good. And 95 minus 74 is... I think it's 21. Yep. So you have how many necklaces? 21 necklaces. Cool?
You take that and plug it into the first plug.
Okay, so no, hold up. We got the first one. We got the second one. Hey, we could also use this one, where B is already solved for, right? So you just go, what's 37 minus 21? It's what, 26? Oh, no, 16? Is that right? Yeah. Cool. And I'll zoom out so you can see the whole thing. So hopefully we're getting better at the solving part. We did do it for a couple of days. I know I wasn't here on Thursday. But really the biggest thing is, do you have any questions as to how we built these? All right, second one. We're not going to solve it, but I do want you to build the equations. Letter B. You spend $11 on school supplies. You purchase pencils for 25 cents and pens for $2 each. Those are expensive pens. You purchased a total of 30 pencils and pens. How many of each did you purchase? Okay, so let's first define our variables. Pencils. What do you want to use for pencils? P. Pens. What do you want to use for pens? You want to use N? That's fine. Yeah, you can't use P again. Sorry. It's already taken. So we use N for pen, so that we're all on the same page. All right. I want you to take about 30, maybe 35 seconds, and build your two equations. Sorry on the recording, I forgot to start it again. Any questions? I got those two. All right, cool. Turn the page. Let's keep rolling. Turn the page. We're going to skip this one because we didn't give you totals. We gave you equations, but we didn't give you totals. Okay? So, geometry ones work very similar. You just got to know equations, all right? So you either can look it up, you can Google it, you can ask me, you can look. I mean, there's a million ways to find the equations, okay? And it's just finding them. So here we go. Letter E. If the angles of a triangle add up to 180, which that is a fact, they do indeed add up to 180, use this equation to solve for x and y. Okay, so we got one equation. X plus 2 equals 3y. There's one equation right there. Okay? The angles of the triangle. Well, if I add all three of these angles up, what will that equal? 180. Do we know what this angle is? 90. Right? Remember that little symbol means it's a right angle? That's 90. So here we go. That's 90 plus x plus y equals how many degrees? 180. Cool. If they ask you a perimeter of a square, well, remember perimeter of a square is p equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. You can look that up. If they ask you for the area of a square, the area of the square equals the length times the width. That sort of thing. So it comes down to your equations are based upon whatever geometric figure they give you. All right? And so in some ways these are easier, some ways these are harder. All right? So here we go. Let's solve from here. What do you want to solve for? You want to solve for the first x, the first y, or the second x or the second y? You want to do the first x? All right. How do we do that? Okay. So subtract your 2 over. So that becomes x equals 3y minus 2. All right. Plug it into that guy right there. So we've got 90. Do we need parentheses since there's nothing multiplied out here? No. There's a plus, so you don't even need parentheses. So that's plus 3y minus 2 plus y equals 180.
Since you have the y's, I guess you're going to add both of the other two, it ends up 4y.
Okay.
And then combine the negative 2 and and that should make 88.
Somebody else tell me what to do next. You're doing awesome. What would you do next? For solving for y. Bull, if we're solving for y right here, you would subtract what? 4. Subtract the 4? Well, what's the 4 doing to y? It's multiplying, right? So we can't just multiply that around. But we can subtract. What can we subtract? The 88. So 180 minus 88, you can pull out your calculator for that if you want. 92. All right. Now we can take care of the 4. How do we take care of the 4? You divide. 90 divided by 4, I believe, is 83. Or 23. So y is 23. And you can plug that into any equation you want. How about this one? So x equals 3 times 23 minus 2. Just shove that in your equation, in your calculator. 3 parentheses, 23, close parentheses, minus 2. 67. That sounds right. Okay. So the solving this part is just crunching through the numbers. But really, for geometric figures, you basically apply what you know to the equation that goes with it. Okay? So you got to think a little bit of geometry in this one. Again, if you don't know the equation, just Google it or ask me or somebody. Cool? All right, last two and we'll call it quits. All right, turn the page. We've talked about geometric figures. We've talked about the total number. We just add them up equals the total. We talked about grocery lists. The third one we have not talked about yet is comparisons. Okay? The Humane Society has 73 dogs and cats to be adopted. The number of cats is 10 more than twice the number of dogs. Write a system of linear equations that represents the situations. How many animals are up for adoption? Okay, so here we go. First things first. What are they trying to get rid of? What are we talking about here? Animals. What kind? Dogs. So what do you want to use for dogs? What do you want to use for cats? Cats. Sounds more perfect. Okay. Let's not get too creative with them. Humane Society has 73 dogs and cats to be adopted. So that's the easy one to do. Which of the three equations is that? A total, a grocery list, or a comparison? It's a total. So what would you write? How would you write your equation? Excellent. Cool. Because the total number of cats and dogs is 73. All right. The next one. The number of cats is 10 more than twice the number of dogs. Now, does that sound like a total, or does that sound like we're comparing the number of dogs to cats? We're comparing. All right. The nice thing about this one is they use the word is. Okay? Because of that, we can read this guy just right off. Okay? The number of cats, well, we use C for cats. E is the literary equivalent of equals. Is equals. 10 more. Okay, if you were to do 10 more, what are you doing? 10 plus, 10 minus, 10 times, 10 divided. What would you do? 10 plus. 10 plus. 10 more than twice the number of dogs. Well, is that 2 plus dogs, 2 minus dogs, 2 times dogs, 2 divided by dogs? 2 times dogs, so just 2D. Does that make sense, what we did there? Because they use is, or if they said are, same idea. If the number of cats are 10 more than twice the number of dogs. Is and are effectively the same thing. We use them in slightly different contexts, but they mean the same thing as far as what we're doing. All right? Don't tell your English teacher I said that. They might kill me. Because there is a difference. 10 plus 2D. Cool? Any questions on that at all? All right, let's solve. Do we need to start off by solving for a variable, or have they already done that? They already did it. We got this bad boy right here. So plug this one into that. What would you write?
D plus 2
Equals 73. All right, so how many D's do you have on the left? 3. How would I get rid of that 10? Subtract it. So what's 7 minus 1? All right. Again, somebody new. What's the last thing you got to do? Divide by what? Exactly. So 63 divided by 3, I think 21? Is that right? Yeah. 65 by 3 is 2. 1 divided by 3. Yeah, 1. All right, so we got D. How do you want to find C? Do you want to plug it into the first equation? Or do you want to plug it into the second equation? I would do the second one. You can do either of them, but the second is already set up. So just take your calculators. 10 plus 2 times 21. And you should get, I think, 52. Yeah, 2 times 21 is 42, plus 10 is 52. Cool? How are we doing this? Give me 5 to 1. 5, I got this. 4, I'm okay. 3, 2, I'm lost. 1, save me. 0, I'm asleep and want to remain there for the rest of the duration of the period. Cool, the sleepy kids aren't saying anything. All right, so nobody wants to sleep. Excellent. Let's do letter G. All right, and again, I just want you to set this up. I want you to set this up. So the difference of two numbers is 15. The difference of two numbers is 15. The larger number is one more than 3 times the smaller number. Find the two numbers. So we have two numbers here. How do we describe, how does the problem describe those two numbers? One is this number and one is the other number. How do they describe them? Here, hold up. We're getting our variables first. This number, what do they describe this number as? It's the larger number. So we'll use the larger for L. What's the other number? The smaller one. We have to find a way to distinguish between the two. So we have the larger one and the smaller one. Yes, they're both numbers, but one is larger and one is smaller. Cool? Now, take care with the word difference, but write your two equations. Okay? Write your two equations. Take about, 20, 30 seconds. All right, does anybody want to give us one of them? Any brave souls? No. I got 3 people. We'll give it a shot. Let's see what it is. Three S. That's exactly right. Because it's the larger number equals 1 more than 3 times the S. That's exactly right. Good. Does anybody want to try for the other one?
Is it L plus 3S equals 15?
Not quite. It does have to do with the 15. Okay, so the 15, let me ask you about this. What type of equation do you think that is? Do you think that's a total? Do you think that's a grocery list, or do you think it's a comparison? It's actually a total. The difference is the word difference here. Do you think you're adding them, or do you think they're subtracting them? You're subtracting them. So it's just L minus S equals 15. All right? It's the total if you subtracted them. All right? So like I said, this one has a little bit of a twist to it. All right? That's why I wanted to do it. Okay?